How goes the family? Welcome back to Patterson Up Properties. Hopefully, you guys have had a great day. It's actually nice to finally publish my first blog for Patterson Up Properties because I usually do it once a week for Larry's Anything Goes. So it's great. I got my new website up and running, and hey, we're kind of changing the way that we do wholesaling with Patterson Up Properties. We're moving into the tax lien auctions because hey, we want to be able to ensure that we can purchase the property, and we want to be able to ensure that we can just sell it and whatnot without having to do all the marketing. Because you, as a wholesaler, anybody knows once you got the property, you put the property on a specific marketing platforms in itself. It saves you a lot of time and money all at the same time. And the properties usually, obviously, depending on the area that you're trying to sell the property in, they sell themselves. So Baltimore tax lien is coming up next week, and I'm ready to get a couple properties so that we can wholesale them and whatnot, and continuously do what we got to do in regards to the real estate industry. But anyways, on that note, today's so my personal opinion, if you are a wholesaler, and you get a couple of wholesale deals, definitely look into using that money to not only get rental properties, but to get tax liens so you have more of a guarantee compared to just cold calling and emailing and text blasting and things of that nature. You have more of a guarantee that the property is yours. Now, what are you going to do with it? The hardest part is marketing and trying to get the property under assignment contract. To me, the easiest part is trying to sell the property. But if you guarantee the property of putting up your own money, as Damon Dash always says, you're not the boss until you put up your own money. Um, then you have a better opportunity to sell the property and continuously moving forward on this beautiful real estate journey that we're on. But today's topic at hand is talking about basically some tips for dealing with issuing eviction notices to tenants and things of that nature. Now, it's never fun or a good experience dealing with the good old eviction process with a good or bad tenant. As a landlord, since I am one, and in my personal opinion, it will always be in your best interest to find the right property management company to not only collect the rents from your tenants, but to definitely in your interest to make sure that they are knowledgeable of the eviction process, have a legal team, and so on when it comes to the property management company. And it's not saying you need to be a jerk towards your tenants or anything of that nature. Me, I don't know any of my tenants, and I never want to know any of them because this is it's about providing a safe environment for people to live in, and it's about me collecting the rent when the rent is due. It's just what it is. It's a business, and you can't have business if there's no money flowing around the business. That's just the way it is. It's not personal. It's business. So. But unfortunately, for a lot of property management companies, the future isn't looking too bleak, considering numerous amounts of reasons. One of those reasons in particular is, with the COVID-19, more cities are becoming more tenant friendly, which for a lot of landlords makes them and property management companies want to get out of the rental property business altogether. And in those instances, that's where a wholesaler like myself was like, hey, well, I can get your property sold much quicker if you want to do it the unconventional route. If you with the conventional route, it might not sell as fast, and depending on what market. If you're in like the market like the DMV area, Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, your house is going to sell. You're not going to have an issue. You got the federal government and the military in the DMV area. So you're not gonna have an issue. But if it's in an area where it's more private sector centric and it's places where it's not, you don't have as many organizations continuously still running and whatnot, then most likely, depending on the situation, it might be harder for you to sell the property. But markets like New York, markets like the DMV, markets like Los Angeles and San Francisco, Seattle's not going to have a problem. Even now, if you look at markets like Austin and Dallas and Houston, for the most part, Atlanta, Miami, but other places that are a lot smaller in population might have it harder, you know. And for instance, in Indianapolis, Indiana, the city has recently passed an Indianapolis Tenant Protection Initiative. And if one is a landlord like myself and own rental properties in areas like Indianapolis, then here are a few things one definitely needs to know. I mean, heck, I myself am in the process of finding a new property management company because the one that I have now is getting out of the property management business because it's too much for them to bear nowadays, and they're just going to stick with buying and selling. Selling real estate for the most part because they are a real estate company, realty company as well. Whether one wants to admit it or not, we are in the process of permanent changes within our economy within the United States altogether. Everyone, and I mean everyone, knows this, and regulations are definitely required because there are a lot of bad landlords out here as well. So I'm not saying that anything bad about any cities passing necessary regulations, to ensure that everyone is doing business on the up and up for real. I mean, heck, even in places like I think Miami, Los Angeles, New York, getting a little bit more stringent on the Airbnbs and want people to actually turn them into actual businesses and whatnot. So obviously they probably want to get their little piece of the pie when it comes to the money aspect of it. But two, they want to ensure that people are conducting business in an efficient manner. And I totally get it because a lot of times people, when there's no rules, people can get out of control. That's just what it is. You need rules and regulations to keep people on the up and up. It's like I always say, society is kind of like a kid. A lot of things they can do by themselves, and a lot of things like people know they'll do if they can get away with it. It is what it is. So regulations are definitely required. Period. Now the article that I read about the situation regarding this matter stated that in reality, the only real change to a landlord's or property manager's day-to-day operations is the implementation of the notice of tenant rights and responsibilities. The first tip states that implements the notice in every new lease, renewal, or extension of the specific lease. Now, this would feel like common sense. This should feel like common sense, but it is required by law in most states. But better safe than sorry. As my mother says, common sense isn't too common. So I couldn't agree with that more. Now, number two, implement the notice in all leases you sign, regardless of location. The article stated that one of the major arguments against passage of the tenant protection initiatives was that many property managers and landlords manage homes in different parts of Indiana. One property management company is addressing the idea of setting up a special set of requirements for the Indianapolis properties, which was viewed by some as too cumbersome. And everybody, when any new rules, regulations, or laws come out, everybody's going to have their upsides, negatives, downsides, positive opinions about it, no matter what the situation is. You can, in any situation, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's a business, and whether it's a government organization, you're never going to be able to make everybody happy. Most reasonable people understand that. But the plan is to add the notice to all leases, especially for specific companies within the state of Indiana. Basically, the plan is to add the notice to all the leases that they sign, renew, or extend, regardless of the location within the state of Indiana. And last but definitely not least, tip number three, as one company, whether you're a landlord or the property management company, it is and always will be in their best interest to keep good records for legal business and tax purposes. The rest of 2020 and the beginning of 2021 is definitely going to be interesting, family. Let's see what happens, and there's going to be more tips coming along the way. I mean, we're in new rules, we're in new territory right now because, as my buddy said yesterday, the situation isn't going anywhere. No matter if a state opens up or it doesn't, it's not going anywhere, and we're just going to have to get used to this way of life in a sense for a long, long time. So, adapt and overcome, as they say. So, hopefully, you guys like the video. Don't forget to give it a share and a like and subscribe. Those are the three great things that you can do. And obviously, if you're interested in joining the Karatbars International family, definitely sign up. We buy gold, we save it, and refer others to do the same thing and make money off those referrals and make money off of the gold that we purchase. And I will be coming up with a email list soon. So we're working on this website a lot more, so you have a chance to subscribe and you'll see the new blogs once they come. I'll send out emails to subscribers and things of that nature. So, slowly but surely, brick by brick, the marathon continues, and hopefully you guys have a great day. All right, take care.